My name is Reverend Dr. Denise Gillard. I am the founder and executive artistic director of the HopeWorks Connection and a senior pastor in the community, Word Walk Global Ministries. Before SoundCheck was born, the founder of SoundCheck, Joel Reed, we met when he was still a teenager. He's getting old, not me. He was hired at a community center, a Christian community center in the neighborhood. He was phenomenal as a young staff. From the get-go, always had a passion for young people, was a learner, and I enjoyed having him on the staff team. While I was working there, I was also, of course, leading a nonprofit organization that had to do with the performing arts and music. And I learned that Joel was learning to play the guitar. So I said, come on over. He said, but I can't play yet. I said, come on over. Just jump into the band. You'll be fine. But he came, he brought his guitar, and I'm not sure if he knew 3 notes. And with his attitude and with his spirit, Joel just became a phenomenal musician. He had opportunities presented to him. He was involved in some other community things that fell apart, and it really, I hit him hard, and he didn't want that to happen to any other young people. So it so makes sense to me that he would found his own organization that would make a difference in young adults' lives with the performing arts, music, instrumental, everything about SoundCheck makes sense. The first funding that SoundCheck got way back in the day, like any amount of money seemed like $1 million, and I think money did go further back then. But I remember the presentation when the check was presented and different politicians were there. And I looked over at Joel and some of the other young adults that were there to represent the organization. And I felt like, well, this makes my life worth living for. I think the other moment is when they got their building. We knew that it needed a lot of elbow grease, but it was theirs to have. They didn't have to share it with anyone. And to be here today, sitting in that space, it has evolved. You can't even imagine, bare floors, and there's new walls, and they've put a lot of thought into everything that they've done. Organizations need opportunities, and to see them grasp their opportunity and run with it, those are great memories.
My name is Orville Wallace. I am the founder and chair of the Youth Justice Network of Toronto. I'm invested in community and community engagement. I currently hold the position of Executive Director of Community Safety at York University. I first came across SoundCheck in about 2014, working in the Weston and Lawrence community. I had came across Joel Reed, who was the leader of SoundCheck, and offering a music program for equity-deserving youth, racialized youth in the Weston Mount Dennis community. And his passion was really deep in terms of providing an outlet for youth to actually have their skills heard through music and instruments. And I really found that incredible as providing a unique program where young people would have access to the instruments to really offer and express themselves through music. So I was really taken back by his commitment and passion in that community, and it really stuck with me. I've had many memorable stories with SoundCheck supporting them. I remember when they had, in my career, I was working at a foundation, at the Ontario Trillium Foundation, and during their first year, they first applied for a funding grant, and they were declined by that grant. And I remember reviewing and reading that grant and realizing to myself that there's something here. There's a light here that really has to be shone and to be supported. And I remember meeting with the group, Joel and his partners, and I remember giving them feedback and coaching them around what they needed to do to really come back and come with a hard application, a really impactful application. I think one of the things that I'm really impressed about is just seeing their journey, coming from a neighborhood improvement area, working with neighborhood kids in the Weston Mount Dennis community, providing this opportunity, the space, and then getting the access, the tools, the capacity to really now own a space. And when I remember walking into their new space here in the west end of Toronto, and seeing how much they've grown, it really struck me, and saw that it was a vision that Joel had that really came to light. And I was really proud to be someone who supported and provided them with the capacity and the skills. I really am impressed by their journey. What makes the work here unique and impactful is the fact that they're providing access to instruments, to opportunity, to tools that young people in neighborhood improvement areas and lower income areas, specifically racialized youth, would not typically gain access to. What they're doing is providing dreams, making dreams into reality through the arts, specifically through music. And I think the mentorship, the programs, the vision, and being able to give them access to these opportunities where they can actually take on a career and look at creating an income out of these out of this opportunity is really the golden outcome for them to really achieve their dreams of this impactful program.